Yeah, so this idea came when I saw so many experts who have so much value to share with the world within topics
Hmm.
passionate.
And I was just going to say, because, they can get access to markets that they normally would not have. They can get access to client bases that they like all these people that you talk to.
And have life experience like knowledge, practical
Mhm.
insights.
Have success attached to their name. And because they all have success attached to their name, it can be somebody from England talking to somebody from New York, and that person from England doesn't have access to people in New York. But now by talking to that person from New York, they have access to people that they normally would not have.
And this came to idea that it will be more much efficiently if I invite them to panel discussion so they can meet each other, they can
It's funny you say that because, eventually, because usually people who are great creators or great makers.
with other people we share our expertise from our perception, right?
Correct. They may not be great at social media. So typically, or people who are great at social media are really not great creators. So now you're bringing the best of both worlds where it's like, hey, you have a great business, but maybe you don't know have a great social media presence. Maybe you don't have time. And at least a lot of people generally do not have time to do these multiple different things.
Yeah, so this idea came when I saw so many experts who have so much value to share with the world within topics
Hmm.
passionate and have life experience like knowledge, practical
Hmm.
insights. And this came to idea that it will be more much efficiently if I invite them to panel discussion so they can meet each other, they can
Right.
collaborate, right? And they can also learn from each other because every time when we meet with other people, we share our expertise from our perception, right?
Correct.
It is always
Correct.
like a little piece of a big pie. So when we bring all these pieces together, everybody benefits so much. So this is how Circle of Fame idea came, and um we did 16 panel discussions already last year. It was like
Wow.
pre-launch. Yes, it was pre-launch. I thought like let me start it and see how it works, and it was very successful. Yes, because
Beautiful.
experts who came, every panel discussion became so much valuable. Yes, like, and
Hmm.
also we repurposed, we cut it in different segments. Everybody has
Hmm.
access, everybody was sharing with their networks, and it
Right.
means that every participant, every panelist got access to other people network, right? So
Exactly.
say, for example, if there are six panelists and each of them, let's say, have 5,000 followers or connected.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
each of participants has access to 30,000 potential viewers, right? Like viewers.
Hmm.
Yes, so
Right.
this is how this idea came.
Right.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
And I was just going to say, because, they can get access to markets that they normally would not have. They can get access to client bases that they like all these people that you talk to have success attached to their name. And because they all have success attached to their name, it can be somebody from England talking to somebody from New York. And that person from England doesn't have access to people in New York. But now by talking to that person from New York, they have access to people that they normally would not have when it comes to clients and services, and then they can bounce ideas back and forth and client bases back and forth and referrals back and forth, and then they share that information with people who are trying to be in that space as well too.
Exactly, exactly. You got it so right because, like, we also can help them to be visible, right? And to
Correct.
reach right audience because everyone will share in their social media, and we can create that content when they're all together, right? So instead
Exactly.
of everyone would hire a marketing agency and creating social media for themselves, we can do it for all together, right? And
Correct.
this will be much productive and more efficiently now because I believe that taking in consideration of this AI revolution and everything shifting so much, like these AI agents, right, who can
Hmm.
create massive content, people who are not in the trend yet, because
Hmm.
it takes time for people really to learn. And in many cases, when we speak about high level experts in their field, they don't have time, right, to learn about AI or to learn about social media, how to be visible. And this is why I think that Circle of Fame is the place where we can get that help and really be visible, meet
Right.
other fellow
Right. Right.
experts in their category, and
Right.
also I have it as networking events also. Like we can add the value when they meet not only at panel discussions, but also with other experts from
Yes.
different categories in monthly networking events.
Well,
And
it's funny
how they,
yeah, it's
yeah,
it's funny you say that because, eventually, because usually people who are great creators or great makers, they may not be great at social media. So typical, or people who are great at social media are really not great creators. So now you're bringing the best of both worlds where it's like, hey, you have a great business, but maybe you don't know have a great social media presence. Maybe you don't have time. And a lot of people generally do not have time to do these multiple different things. Right. So here's where Circle of Fame comes in and where my podcast comes in, where let's get your business the right promotion and social media presence that maybe it's lacking, or maybe like that story that can inspire. Like I get people that reach out like you do all the time that are like, hey, I want to be on your show. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And then you start realizing, okay, how do I get that to the next level where either A, they're holding courses, B, they're giving speeches, B, they're doing conferences, they're doing events, they're doing coaching one-on-one, and your show is the conduit to all of that. Where you're like, okay, my platform and your platform allows everyday regular people to get access to people who they normally would not get access to, right?
yes, exactly, exactly. And this is the time when people who host podcast can really bring value to their guests,
Yes,
right? Because
exactly.
so their visibility and legacy and impact doesn't stop after podcast, because in many cases they come for podcast and they think about like it will help me to be visible, and that
Right,
after podcast is recorded everything stops. Yes,
right.
because now it is um, really taken so much efforts to get to the right audience, and also
Absolutely.
takes also budget, right, if it
Hmm.
is done by ads. And this way, when we create community of experts
Hmm.
on one side and also podcast hosts on other side who want to help their guests, right, so who want to
Hmm.
continue this impact in their lives and business and legacy, so we can create that community and do this together.
Correct. Correct. I agree.
And
I
at the
absolutely agree.
Circle of yeah, and at the Circle of Fame, we have amazing team of marketers and designers. So they don't need to create this themselves. We do professional editing of the video. We will do like segmentation for different questions which are discussed during panel discussion. So they will have access to their own videos, what they,
Right.
yeah, their input in the panel discussion. And later it will go on and on, because later we will create the library of all these
Beautiful.
episodes, all these questions and answers. People can search by their name, people can search by topics, and this is
Hmm.
how it will be really top experts hub, how I call it. So like
Right.
Hall of Fame, it is more like this production studio, right? And
Of
then
course.
yeah, and then these materials will go to Top Experts Hub. That will be a platform where all these panel discussions on all these episodes are there, and people can come who are entrepreneurs and looking for the right expert,
Correct.
and they listen, they see who they resonate with the most, and this is the person who they can reach and hire them to work with them as mentor, coach, consultant.
It's funny because I had the same vision where like basically, okay, if you want, John's consulting services and you listen to John's consulting services on the podcast, you go through listening to the show, there's like some sort of discount or referral fee because you listen to the podcast or your show or Circle of Life, you get it discounted through them and then you get access to these people. So it's a win-win for all parties involved.
Yes, yes, this is very big vision, and there is a huge space for everyone to collaborate.
Correct.
Podcast
Correct.
hosts, podcast guests, and it will be a very, very big impact, and we will help people to really build a legacy and share
Exactly.
knowledge.
And it helps to build a client base and it helps build, because the way that this world is operating, like you said, to your point with artificial intelligence, they're telling people that you're going to be on your own. Like the traditional, like these employers are shedding people left and right, you know, people are having to learn new skills. So the one thing that could be a benefit is saying, listen, talk to the people who have already made it. So that way you can be prepared for this changing world that's happening in front of you right now.
Yes, exactly. I believe that in our time, communities will win, not
Yes,
separate people, because
exactly.
separate person who has to do so much to get to that level where they can get to that level effortlessly with the community, because everybody will support each of members, right, other members of community, and they can have access to professional services which
Mhm.
will be available for them.
I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely. So, tell me what you need from me because, like I said, you reached out to me. I think that this is a very good fit. I would certainly know, and I have a lot of people who I talk to every single week, really. Like I have two podcast episodes today. You know, what we can certainly find a good fit to how, you can refer people to me and, and
Uh-huh.
there could you know, just tell me what you need so we can work something out. Because I think
Yes,
that our visions are very closely aligned.
yes, very good. That I see that you get this very well, this idea.